whiteboard and a marker, I would have explained that. So that is what I want to say, that let's not take Agile something which is a raw approach. There is no defined approach. It's not like that. And people who do not understand Agile, I would request them to just go through it. And then you will be able to understand the beauty as how it is actually acting as a catalyst to bring in more thoughts, more innovative thoughts to what foundation these traditional practices like PMP have laid down.
Okay, now if you say that Agile has all these things, that's really good and something interesting. Apart from that, there is one point that I would like to mention, not one, two things. When it comes to cost, when you say product and people and process, all those things, okay, 4 P's. Those 4 P's are part of IT, all those things, let's keep that aside. In Agile, as of today, I have never read anything about 4 P's as such. But Agile as such, how much it talks about, controlling processes. I have quality assurance processes, I have risk management processes, I have communication that's going around with my stakeholders. Whether I'm doing it rightly or wrongly, after every sprint, we'll have a meeting where we'll discuss that what went wrong and what should be done in future. That much I know. But is that enough to take care of the whole project as such? Or is it okay till the level of that module that I'm developing? Okay. In case of PMP, it talks about everything over here. It talks about in your quality assurance process, it talks about that in case your processes are not correct, you need to modify the baseline, you need to modify the lessons learned, you need to modify your processes also. You go and change your organization process assets. Okay. So that part is there which I have not found in Agile as such, part number 1. Point number 2, I said 2 points. Point number 2, whatever the way I am doing, customer is happy because he is getting a working software every iteration. Is that working software is efficient? It may be effective. It may be effective because it matches his requirement. He is happy that whatever I was supposed to enter in this screen, it's entering and it's doing the functionality and output is given. But is it efficient? How do we calculate that efficiency? That is a grey area in Agile. PMP over here talks about everything. It gives all sorts of performance indexes, talks about all types of graphs, it talks about design of experiments, it talks about Monte Carlo analysis and those things. These are the grey areas which are there in Agile. Probably he may answer it now, definitely. Okay. But I found that if these 2 areas are also answered properly in Agile, they stand at equal platform there. Everything, whatever he is saying, I am contradicting, whatever I am saying, he is contradicting, saying it's there, it is there, it is there. Okay. Can you answer on those 2 aspects?
I have already answered those aspects. If you remember in just a couple of minutes back, I said that Agile focuses upon regular feedbacks, Agile focuses upon measurement metrics, Agile focuses upon running task features, Agile focuses upon involvement of cost and the returns available to that. It is not something that Agile, as I said, it is not something that Agile is just going without any direction. If it is something without any direction, why would the industries be interested to take this over? Right? When you say that, see, this is what the, analysis is. You are sticking to something that PMP says this, PMP says this, PMP says this. I know PMP says this. And I agree to that. What I am saying is that Agile makes it more dynamic, more iterative and more responsive to the industry needs, which is as on date today. And let me bet on this, pick up any plan, small scale plan or large scale plan. There is no plan which is followed religiously without having any iterations. Me, you, everyone, whosoever is sitting in the room, even with the people who are following BMP, with due respect to you and everyone as well in this room, nobody can come up and say that I made a plan for, let's say, even for 1 week and it went without having any iterations. It never happens. There are iterations. What Agile has done is that since those iterations were very demanding and all of a sudden without any expectations, Agile has brought up methodology which will ensure that those unexpected changes are made into a framework and they are handled in a more professional and a beautified way. So Agile does give respect to what is the traditional baseline, but if we include Agile methodology which covers those aspects which are there in PMP and other excellent formats or methodologies, then we would be able to respectfully and beautifully handle those unexpected changes which rise in the market and industry. And it's not about technology, it's about people as well. I involve, let's say, 10 resources who are highly skilled in a particular technical area to handle a project. All of a sudden, those people had to leave the organization or they cannot continue for some or the other reason. Then the Agile says, let's bring in people, let's bring in resources, and the best suitable would be deployed so that the momentum of the project is not stopped. Whereas this is something which is actually as a key element missing in PMP or any other, traditional practices. And I respect them. It's not like that I would say they are completely wrong, because they started off with it and we had laid our project management foundation on base of that. But yes, Constitution also requires amendments, things require amendments, and Agile is nothing, it's an amendment to what is traditionally being run. And it covers those aspects. It's not something which just goes on, if Agile doesn't cover those aspects, why the books are written on it? There wouldn't have been any term known as Agile. What is Agile? There would be some documentation, some approach which we are following. All we are saying is that client, people, products, partners, I'm not talking about 4 P's, but I am talking about 4 essential elements. Let's be involved and make sure that we are ready for any dynamic changes which come up. It shouldn't come up with a surprise, hey, what has happened and how we are going to manage it. We know that it happens, let's face it.
Now, when you talk about the people leaving your project, it's part of risk management. There's very well process defined in risk management, how to handle those things, where your risks are prioritized. Okay, once they are prioritized, the impact is analyzed. Everyone knows about risk process completely, so I need not to go into the detail of that. But there's a process for that, how to handle risk management in case your employees goes off. So it's not that it's only there in Agile when the dynamic thing happens like that, we take it. One. Second part, again the question not answered. When you say that proper planning is done on costing, when Agile is always open for changes, the change always impacts on your cost. That's a baseline. Okay, quality may hamper, may not hamper. If you put a lot of money, quality won't hamper. Okay, but that cost, if that cost is continuously changing, because we are open for changes. If you are open for changes, cost continuously keep on changing. If the cost is continuously changing, your cash flow is changing, how you are going to calculate your IRR, ARR, how you are going to calculate that if the cash flow is continuously changing? Your internal rate of return or average rate of return, return on investment, those figures don't remain there. There's no point of having those figures, because every month you are changing those your return on investment. Whatever you decided, okay, I am expecting returns in this percent, I put those values in my formulas, cash flow changes. By the time I get those cash flow correct, I go to the management, 2 weeks are gone, again check figure changes. My account manager will throw me out. So that's the problem where I see in Agile, basically, they have to come up with some sort of structure over there where these things are taken care of, one part. Second part about quality. Quality is not in terms of only, putting up test plans, test cases and testing a model whether it is as per the water specification and delivering it. It is one step beyond that. Quality, rather than having a quality control, I will say, what about quality assurance? How much of quality assurance Agile takes care of? Okay. Quality assurance in terms of time, cost, resources, quality, how efficiently those things are developed. You may have 10 people, suddenly you say that, okay, I can deliver it fast, so I put 5 more people, because we are volatile, we change ourselves. But there is something, a concept called as project crashing also, fast tracking, part of PMP. Okay, you put more resources, but they clearly says that if you do crashing or you do fast tracking, you are compromising on quality, cost. Somewhere you are compromising. But here they are not talking about anything. We are not compromising quality also, we are not compromising on cost also. It's not going to happen like that. You are going to compromise on cost of quality. Somewhere you have to, by the scope, somehow you have to compromise something. Then only you can deliver it fast. So these 2-3 points, if they are taken care, I don't think there's any as such difference, major difference between Agile and this thing. Okay, because as we were having the debate, what topic we should take. Every point, if I say he has something to say, contradict it, and if he says I have something to contradict it. But these 3 points, if you can answer again, please.
I'll do that. See, the thing is that, sir, actually, if I come to the points which you have spoken, you have already answered your thoughts. The concluding line of, your recent thoughts, which said if these 3 elements are included, then there is no problem with Agile, right? Number 1. And in the starting, when you summarized about your thoughts, you said that somehow we also, in PMP also, we customize those processes. They actually themselves handle to what Agile is all about. You customize the processes. Why do you customize a process? Why do you actually customize a plan? Because you know that there is a need for that. Maybe industry level need, maybe organization level need. And that is which is being answered in Agile. You said the elements of the customization, risk and quality are missing. Customization, you yourself agreed in your first level of summarization. Risk I have already included, because when I said that Agile focuses on customer feedback, yes, that does involve a complete risk assessment. It is not something that you would come up and say that there is no. Why I am including customers' feedback? Because I know that his thoughts are also important. He also is seeing the things from his perspective. Quality. If we talk about the quality, then if I am, sir, tell me one thing logically. If I am having regular discussions with my team, if I am having regular discussions with the customer, if I am involving everybody's feedback, definitely the quality of the outcome is going to improve. It's just the difference that it is not written in Agile methodology, that like in ITIL, it is written service strategy, design, transition, operation, improvements. It is not written in Agile, but whatever is written in Agile, if you see to it, it leads to the 3 main elements which you are talking about. And customization, you have already agreed, and that is what Agile says. Customization has to be dynamic and should be accepted. So there is, I think, I have come to the point where I would say that I have fulfilled those 3 elements of yours, and so I think Agile is okay, right?
Hold on. Just 2 points. I'll repeat 2 points.
Sure.
The first point you have not answered, return on investment.
Okay.
Wait.
No, I'm just noting.
Okay. Return on investment, which I said that since you are dynamic, you keep on changing your requirements. Keep on changing those requirements. Then your cash flow keeps on changing. If your cash flow changes, your ROI, ARR and IRR, it's very difficult to calculate them. One part. Second part, customization. Okay. Customizing process doesn't mean that we are accepting Agile. Because Agile came in existence later, PMP was earlier like that. Project management from your proper SDLC or whatever waterfall method, it is there since ancient times. The only thing is that it's a new way of defining things now. I'll put it another way, it's a new way of defining whatever we were doing now. Finding us some sort of runaways from tedious work, which is always like burdening to the team. And yeah.
Okay.
Just some few questions.
Yeah.
Few questions. More than a question, this is a comment. I find myself in a strange situation since I'm a PMP and a Scrum Master, and I'm practicing one in both the disciplines. I find that PMP, anything that addresses, can very well be addressed in a much better fashion using Agile. First thing. Second thing is, Agile is also not applicable everywhere. I think the bigger question which you need to address is, where exactly do many of these two approaches have come from?
Can I answer that?
No, actually, let me complete the question first.
First of all, regarding all, and I think both of you have been doing a very fair job of defending both the standards. I don't think the 2 standards are basically looking at iterations or cyclical things. It's not about that. PMP is more about looking at the team and planning based on a fixed scope. Agile, on the other hand, is an iterative process where you have a customer defining the priorities. It is also about